Straight ahead on WBKB, the FBI issues a warning of possible violence ahead of next week's inauguration.
Plus, Target Alpena is preparing for the launch of new small business grants, and Michigan plans to charge ex-Governor Rick Snyder in the Flint water probe.
You're watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
This is WBKB News at 6. An in-depth look at news, weather, and sports. From hard-hitting news stories to local events, we're there with coverage you can count on. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Stewart.
And I'm Tyler Cruz. Well, reports have surfaced that the FBI has issued a warning nationwide to law enforcement regarding armed protests and threats of violence in all 50 state capitals on Inauguration Day and days before. In an internal bulletin obtained by national news sources, the FBI alerted of plans from right-wing groups to storm state capitals across the country in protest of Donald Trump losing the presidential election. The Michigan State Police says they are aware of online promotion of upcoming marches on state capitals. A statement from MSP confirmed an increased police presence around the Capitol that will continue for the next couple of weeks. According to the Associated Press, the bulletin warns of planned protests at all 50 state capitals beginning January 16th and extending through the inauguration, with armed protests planned for the U.S. Capitol before and through the inauguration. Lansing City Council President Peter Spadafore and Lansing Mayor Andy Shore called on the governor to deploy Michigan's National Guard to the state capitol ahead of the weekend while the state capitol increases their security. The National Guard has reportedly deployed 15,000 members to Washington, D.C. ahead of the inauguration. The MSP is in communication with both federal officials and other states and says they will be prepared.
Well, the Associated Press announced Tuesday former Governor Rick Snyder, his health director, and other ex-officials have been told they're being charged after a new investigation of the Flint water scandal. The scandal devastated the Flint community with lead-contaminated water, resulting in a deadly outbreak of Legionnaire's disease that started in 2014. The AP was unable to confirm the nature of the charges against Snyder, former health director Rick Lyon, and others. Lonnie Scott, Executive Director of Progress Michigan, a nonprofit advocacy group, says justice for the people of Flint is long overdue.
Eligible residents looking to be vaccinated for COVID-19 are being asked by local health departments to be patient as they've been swamped with calls. District Health Department number 4 is following the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services updated guidelines and began vaccinating the following groups on Monday: people ages 65 years or older and frontline essential workers with frequent exposure as part of their work. This includes first responders, police officers, jail and prison staff, pre-K through 12 teachers, and child care providers. If you live or work in any of the counties in our viewing area and are looking to schedule an appointment, call 989-356-4507. Clinic dates start on Thursday, January 14th at the DHD4 Alpena office. An appointment is required. We'll have all clinic dates for the month listed on our website. The health department will continue to notify the public of additional clinic dates and vaccine availability as it becomes available.
Well, the Alpena Township Board of Trustees met early Tuesday to discuss several issues of business, including the Township Fire Department. The ad hoc committee for the fire department helped the board modify and update fire department job descriptions. Also discussed were updates regarding the recruitment process for new fire department staff. As of now, the department says it does not have many candidates, but will continue to reach out to people who are on their list. The Board of Trustees and the ad hoc committee will both continue to recruit through local and state universities and community colleges.
Well, the application period for a new small business grant program opens next week. Businesses with less than 100 employees will be eligible for grants from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation between $15,000 and $20,000. Target Alpena is handling the application and approval process for the 5-county area. Mike Mahler, Economic Development Director for the Alpena Chamber of Commerce, says they hope to disperse funds within the month.
So businesses need to know that if they're really hurting, relief is on the way, and that Target is going to do everything. We're prepared to work the weekends in order to facilitate getting those checks out the door to grantees that are approved by the end of the month.
Mahler says more information will be available on the Alpena Chamber of Commerce website next week. Eligibility is expected to focus on businesses affected by mask orders, such as restaurants and fitness centers.
Well, as January kicks off National Radon Action Month, District Health Department number 4 reminds the community that regular testing for radon in your home, office, and school is important for your health. Radon is known to be the second leading cause of lung cancer following smoking. It is something that you can't see, smell, or taste. The health department says elevated levels of radon are present in 7 to 24% of homes in Alpena, Sheboygan, Montmorency, and Presqu'île counties. According to Director of Environmental Health, Kevin Prevost, there are no warning signs of radon. He says the only way to know if there is a risk of exposure is to test. This January, the health department is hosting a Give a Can, Get a Kit event. During the month-long campaign, the community brings non-perishable items for donation to a local pantry. In exchange for this item, you'll receive a free radon test kit. For more information on receiving a kit and where to donate, you can visit EPA.gov or call 800-221-0294.
Well, the MLK Committee of Alpena is hosting part 2 of its film discussion on race. The screening was postponed last Wednesday due to the attack on the nation's capital. Pastor Tom Orth of Grace Lutheran Church will lead the virtual discussion on episode 2 of the documentary Race, The Power of an Illusion. The discussion will take place this Wednesday starting at 6:30 p.m. on Zoom. To watch the film ahead of time and receive the Zoom link to join the discussion, visit the committee's Facebook page, Creating a Beloved Community.
Well, there's more news ahead for you here on WBKB. Coming up, what to expect financially with a new administration in D.C.
Some showers of rain, snow, and slush to talk about later in the week. A bit more on that coming up later in the newscast.
Thanks for that, Ellie. I'm glad I went tanning last week. Well, with next Wednesday being the day of inauguration, how will the stock market react to the new administration? We spoke with one local financial advisor for more. A new president can bring change in a variety of aspects, including financial markets. Ahead of their upcoming webinar, New Administration, New Year, What to Expect in 2021, we spoke with local Edward Jones financial advisor Pamela Kirchhoff on what she expects for the future.
Kind of what to expect from a Biden administration, the changes that have gone on in the White House. We cannot predict, we don't know what the market's going to do time over time, but we can prepare for it.
Kirchhoff says most things on the financial end will remain the same. However, she expects future stimulus bills to benefit the unemployed and help the economy. Interest rates are expected to stay low, making it a good time for homebuyers.
With the Biden administration, he's going to be more prone to keep that stimulus going. Interest rates remain low, so for people that are purchasing homes and so forth, now's a good time to do so.
Aside from the Biden administration, the distribution of the COVID vaccine has caused the markets to be forward-looking as well.
With the vaccine, there's great anticipation that we will get back to what we considered normal in the past, which will help the economy.
As always, Kirchhoff says, speak with an advisor if you have one before acting. The free webinar is available to everyone, even non-clients of Edward Jones. And we'll have more information on how to register for the webinar and get involved on our website.
Well, in Health Watch, the possible connection between gut health and COVID-19 and the hidden cost of the pandemic on Americans with heart conditions. Nancy Chin has a look at some of the day's top health stories.
Harvard researchers say cardiac deaths not related to COVID-19 spiked across the country at the onset of the pandemic, especially in areas hardest hit by coronavirus. At the same time, researchers say hospital visits for heart patients decreased. Not having enough or the right kind of gut bacteria may worsen the condition of someone with COVID-19, according to a new study in the British Medical Journal. Researchers examined the blood and stool samples of 100 coronavirus patients and found the sickest patients had far fewer bacteria that bolster immunity. And new research from the National Institutes of Health finds women who use marijuana while trying to get pregnant are 40% less likely to conceive than women who don't use marijuana. Those are some of today's top health stories. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
Well, coming up on WBKB News, Ellie Morrison is next with your 7-day forecast, plus the photo of the day. Stay tuned.
Showers returning to our area come spring. Thank you, Jackie, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo such as nature shots, pics with friends, or interesting sights you see that you'd like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@wbkb11.com.
Yeah, well, that photo reminds me of spring. It really just makes me want to sneeze. A lot of allergies right there in those flowers, but nonetheless, a beautiful picture. And moving on, today's pets of the week are Stormy, Ugg, Ember, and Timberland. Kent Davis has more.
Today's Pets of the Week features 2 playful cats and 2 shy cats. Let's take a look.
Meet Stormy. This 8-week-old kitten has a very soft coat of fur. She's incredibly playful, and her favorite toys seem to be plastic balls. Stormy loves to run around and play the hunter. Next, let's say hello to Ugg. Ugg has a lovely orange and black coat, and she loves to cuddle. Overall, she's very mellow, but she does have a playful side. Ugg enjoys various types of toys. Now, let's look at Ember. Ember is a very shy girl who mostly keeps to herself. She's not really keen on toys, but she does accept petting. And finally, we have Timberland. This 4-year-old guy isn't fond of being out in the open just yet. He prefers to find a good hiding place for a nap. However, Timberland can be affectionate when he wants to be. He's looking for someone to help him feel comfortable in open spaces.
And remember, you can learn more about adoption by visiting HuronHumaneSocietyInc.org.
And we have all your local sports news coming up next, but first we're going to send it to Jake Vanderbrook with a preview. Jake, what's happening?
Yeah, Tyler, next in sports, training camp is over for the Detroit Red Wings. You'll hear from head coach Jeff Blashill on his thoughts on what he likes from this young physical team. And can Michigan make it 11 straight this evening? We'll